Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and talk about masculinity and men's issues. I'm your host, Brian Krall, and today I want to talk to you about the topic of hypergamy. Hypergamy is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as the action of marrying or forming a sexual relationship with a person of superior sociological or educational background. It is defined by Wikipedia as being colloquially referred to as marrying up, and a term used in social science for the act or practice of a person marrying a spouse of higher caste or social status than themselves. And it says here explicitly that it is mostly practiced by women. Imagine that. Now, the antonym of hypergamy is hypogamy, which refers to the inverse, marrying a person of lower social class or status, or colloquially, marrying down. And while hypergamy is an almost entirely female mating tactic, its opposite, hypogamy, dating or marrying down in status, is something that many men do and find no shame in. For why should they be ashamed of dating a woman who is lower in socioeconomic class? Just because she's lower in status and has less money than him does not make her less beautiful, or have less good of a personality, or be less classy and respectable, be less girlfriend or wife material, right? Be less good in bed. However, unfortunately, women do not think that way about men, right? That same woman is marrying up and not down for a reason. So she obviously doesn't share the same view of her love as a partner does. So that's something you as a man have to consider before being hypogamous and dating down is, why is this woman dating up? How does she really think about love? And let's talk more in depth here about what hypergamy is. Hypergamy happens when a woman gets commitment and provisions and an elevation of status from a man who is above her in socioeconomic class and who she is with in a sexual partnership of some sort, primarily because of the resources and elevation of status he can provide. Now, hypergamy also happens when a woman leaves one man for another man of even higher status because the novelty of the first one's resources had worn off and he had elevated her status as much as he was going to. So this moving on to someone higher is called monkey branching. And no-fault divorce law has made it possible for women to do this quickly and more times in their life than ever before, without even needing to give a reason for filing the divorce. Now, interestingly enough, it seems that women being hypergamous is why women are interested in the idea of equality at all. It's because they want to elevate their status to that of men's. It's not because they care about equality for equality's sake or for human rights' sake, which is why when they say equality, they mean getting all the rights of men without any of the responsibilities of them. And their relationship goal is to find a man who is not their equal, but is higher in social status than they are, and to elevate themselves to his status and become his equal. Then to go to an even higher status man to do it with, and to keep doing this over and over. So keep in mind that any woman who shows any kind of interest in you is only doing so because she views you as higher status than her. She is inferior to you and wishes to exploit your superiority and try to use your status to elevate herself. But unfortunately, in the process of becoming the equal of a higher status man, they oftentimes lower his status due to their financial leeching off of him. And they leave him a lot lower than they found him. So in being a hypogamous man and self-sacrificing for love and using your resources to bring a lower woman up, she only brings you down.
Are you sure to take your daily dose of red pills consistently so that you can stay out of the matrix? The red pill is a medicine that only works if you take it in the right dosage and never miss a dose. One missed dose of red pills can mean turning back into a blue-pilled limp dick simp under the sharp heel of the evil feminist matriarchy. So make sure you are subscribed and that your subscription is set to all so that you never have to miss one of your daily doses of the red pill, because I'm releasing hot new red pill content every single fucking day just to make sure you don't have to. So make sure you will actually get notified when they are released, because you know that YouTube doesn't want to show you things that don't align with its liberal leftist feminazi agenda, and it shadow bans content creators like me who use free speech to speak out against these politics and stand up for the rights of the oppressed masses of men like you and me. And if you want to help me keep fighting the good fight, please donate using the PayPal link below so that I can keep this work alive, because I simply cannot do it without the support of viewers like you. And be sure to spread these messages and share these videos with any other men you know who could use a nice big dose of red pills.
Now, all women are like this, even if they seem like they wouldn't be, even if they seem like they are, sentimental, romantic, innocent, sweet, good-natured types, because all women are hypergamous by nature. Hypergamy is programmed into their brains and their nature by Mother Nature, who is a woman, mind you, and thus is more on the women's side than the men's. And so it's wired into their reptilian and mammalian brains. So they themselves cannot escape this nature. And they will literally give up what they consider to be true love just for a chance with a guy who is more physically young and strong and attractive and or more wealthy and higher status. Maybe not just any guy, but certain guys out there. Plenty of women get caught cheating and feel sorry about it because they really did feel that they loved their boyfriends or husbands who they cheated on, right? And they'll even break up a happy relationship for a chance with a guy who's better looking and richer, even if they're not sure he's the right choice, and it often ends up being the wrong one. They just cannot help their hypergamous instincts. Because the psychological processes of, sex hormones and everything that's responsible for attraction and arousal are like drugs. You can't escape their effect. It takes control of your mind. And so higher status men have the same drug-like effect on women's brains that most women have on most men's brains that I've talked about before. So you cannot trust a woman, even if she says she is in love with you. Women routinely ruin years or even decades old marriages for a chance at a younger, hotter, more muscular guy or a more rich guy. And they will take that chance even if it's a gamble and ends up breaking their man's heart. And not only that, but breaking a family apart and costing them their happy home and the lives they built together as partners for years. Women do this in most marriages because even when they are in love and committed through the sacred bond of marriage, they simply cannot help their hypergamous instincts when they meet a guy who's 10 years younger or much richer than their husband. And we live in a society that has liberated women from any obligations to any man, even the ones they sign contractual obligations to. And feminism and modern female culture promotes women's hypergamy and doing things like taking starter husbands just for money and then going through marriage after that, monkey branching upwards more and more in the social hierarchy. We live in a society, culture, and socio-political system that has been structured by feminists for women to be able to do this throughout their life to the fullest potential. That is why women have the most upward mobility in the world, something I discuss in my article on the social dominance hierarchy, which you can check out below. But the bottom line is that you cannot trust a woman's love to be true because of their hypergamous animal instincts. Women maybe used to be loyal when marriage was actually legally binding for life, and they didn't live in a social system that was structured for monkey branching, and seeing your 40s was considered old and something that most people didn't do unless they were quite well off. And women in their 40s were probably already becoming grandmothers, and their husbands were surely long dead by then, and they would be too soon. So being loyal to her husband was more natural in the older days. These days, however, you just can't expect it from a woman. The matriarchal culture that we live in has liberated women and unleashed their hypergamous instincts to the fullest extent possible and turned them all into a bunch of narcissistic, sociopathic, gold-digging social climbers. Even a girl who seems sweet and innocent and in love will be a different person in 10 years who wants different things in life. And even if she doesn't see you as a stepping stone now, that is exactly what you will become eventually. So even if you feel you can trust her now, that doesn't mean you can trust who she is going to be in 10 or 20 years from now, when you are actually worth something and have tied your assets to her. But she is tired of you and found another love interest who has a higher net worth and feels that she isn't getting any younger and needs to make some serious moves in life before it's too late. And you aren't getting any younger either, but her new love interest is younger than you. This is what happens with most marriages and divorces. It's all because of female hypergamy. And that is why you cannot commit to or trust any woman, even if you two feel like you love each other right now. And even if it all seems pure and innocent enough, keep in mind that marriage is a religious institution, and that is supposed to be for keeping love and sex pure and innocent. But yet it is not doing that anymore because it has been corrupted by feminist law. And this religious institution and all the indoctrination that was supposed to go along with it, well, it's not keeping women pure or loyal or true or faithful to their men anymore. Marriage is now more of a business tool to women, All they have to do is give you their word, then rescind their word and go back on it, and suddenly they profit off of you and get half of your stuff. So even the sweetest girl who believes in the sanctity of marriage cannot be trusted, because in the end, marriage is about women being provided for by men. And women want to be provided for more and more in life as they get older and accrue more expenses by having children and, moving to bigger houses and such. And later on, they need to retire. So if their man is not making significantly more and more as time goes on, they are going to become interested in men who are making more than him. And if their man is getting older and becoming less attractive, as is natural, they are going to become attracted to men who are younger than him. And if their marriage lasts a long time, eventually she's going to get bored and want to do some gambling on her lifestyle. This is just how women are wired, okay? It's their nature. You may not be able to see it right away, but if you are with a woman long enough, you will. They are hypergamous by nature, and there are no exceptions. So don't commit. Don't even trust them. And if this is hard for you to accept, as it is for many men and was for me, and I understand, next I'm going to be explaining the psychological principles behind exactly why it is that women are not loyal, known as Briffault's Law.
That concludes this video. Thanks for listening. I hope I mansplained that good enough for you. If you like what you heard, please click the like button. And if you feel you gained some value from this video and would like to give some back, please do so with the PayPal link below, because your support helps fund me doing this work and fight the good fight for men like you. If you are ready to take the red pill and wake up from the matrix and the matriarchy controlling it and learn everything you need to know about female on male sexism, get your copy of my newly released book called Misandry Exposed, on sale now for a special price that won't last long. So check it out by clicking the link below. And otherwise, take care of yourselves, men, because no woman out there is going to.